Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very first episode of the PEL Weekly, brought to you by us, Luxembourg Rift Tournaments, and powered by Digitel-Studios. First episode of hopefully many more episodes of PEL Weekly, where we will take into review different matches that happened this week, results of those matches, and then cast one of those matches. This will come up later today. My name is Loic. I am here today alongside my friends Daniel, Noah, and Noah to do this episode for you. So, what's up, guys?
Welcome to the very first show. Also, for my part, I'm very excited for this new project. As Loic already said, we are going to go over all of the results from this week in all three categories of Post Esport League. And we are going to face off the game of the week later, where we will see Corona Difference and TSK. But I guess we don't have to slot on any longer, and I will give the word to Noah, who is going to start with FIFA and Clash Royale.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Noah, and I'm the newcomer today who will speak about the results and a few about the matches of our first week of PEL, starting with FIFA, and afterwards we will go to Clash Royale. There's just one problem now because I can't see the stream.
Okay, can you open it on your tablet or something? The Twitch
It's
stream?
it's on Live Digital.
No. Okay,
No.
wait. I will send you the new
That's the problem.
channel. Okay. What would a new Luxembourg Rift Tournament show be without any technical issues? Hold on, where are you? There.
I just need the name to go on the stream.
I sent you the
Lux
link.
Rift Tournaments. There we go. Now I can see the stream, but it's loading, so I'm sorry. Yeah, all right. I just need the result. It's loading now. I can see the stream. So now we can see the first graphic of PEL. As you can see, this week started on the 2nd of May and went or goes until tomorrow. First matches are already played, and we can see there are many people on FIFA which were facing off each other. First of all, I will go on a few results of people that I already know, because I have already casted them in a few matches of the spring games here in Luxembourg, or the LGX, like Cicinho, who joined the newest, or one of the newest esports teams of Luxembourg, that's Outplay eSports. On the first result, we can see that he won his match 2-0 versus Lewis Lux 8. Another one that is RSCL Shadow, who also won his match 2-0. Then another newcomer, for example, in Outplay eSports, that is Fabino, I think, who won his matches, I think both. Yes, he won his first match 2-0 and the second one 2-1. But one of them, as I can see, that is from Team Slick, for example, Last King Kevin. I already casted him on the last LGX. I think there it was in the final match versus one of from Belgium. But I see that he lost his first match versus Diogo Santos 26 from ProGame Niederkorn. and also lost his second match versus RSCL Shadow. That means he had to face off two very, very good players in the PEL and lost them. But every one of us knows that it is just the first week where everything started, and this will continue. Just I think it was to June, and until then we will see a lot of matches, and probably those who are in the under or in the lower brackets until now, they can be on the higher bracket afterwards. That means someone who is now on the last spot can still get on the first, or can get to the next round. Yeah, I will say that we will go to the standings, where I can explain a bit how the next few weeks will go on. Another thing that I can explain that is that the whole PEL system works so that we will now have, I think it were 7 weeks where everybody has to play their matches one against another to get their points. As you can see now on the stream, we have already played 2 games where each of them had won or lost 2 matches, or they are standing 1-1. For every match that you win, you will get 3 points. For lose, that's obvious you get 0 points, and for an even game, you will normally get 1 point. Yeah, on the first spots, we will see RSCL Shadow, PN Diogo Santos 26, who is also one of the most known FIFA players here in Luxembourg. Then TSK Malka, I think he's the best player from Team Slick here in Luxembourg, or he's pretty even with Kevin. I don't know, because I have already seen both of them playing, but he's on the top list, and Kevin is until now further in the last spots, but there's nothing to say. Then we see those 3 people from Outplay eSports. One of them is X Fabinho, the other is LXB FIFA, and I think he's one of the new rookies and a newcomer in the esports scene here in Luxembourg. Yeah, Fabinho is on the higher spots with 6 points. After that, there are LXB FIFA with 3 points, and also Cicinho with 3 points. Yeah. Another people of them that is Prestino. I think he was also last year on the Spring Games, where I casted a match from him versus Cicinho. I think it were the finals also, and Prestino won. I'm not sure about it. Yeah, we see very a lot of those people which are known here in Luxembourg, but there are also some newcomers which I've never seen, like Ivan Nilsson 10 or Furo Class 27, and both of them are also in the higher spots of our first week. But as I already said, there will be furthermore matches where we probably will have a lot of different encounters. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hope that this league will have a few more best of matches. I've seen none of those, which is very sad actually. But I hope for Cicinho that he can represent Luxembourg for, one year furthermore, because he's actually the best FIFA player here from Luxembourg. Then, as I already said, that there's TSK Last King Kevin. He has lost both matches and has until now 0 points. Yeah, what can I say about this? I think, as someone who has also already a bit of experience in esports league or in those matches, I think it has very a lot of pressure for him in his mental thinking, because now he has to go on furthermore to win his next matches, because when he will lose next week, it will get more and more difficult to climb up the ladder. But yeah, it's the first week and everything's still open. yeah, what can I say? I think that's pretty much everything about FIFA of this week. So we will go on to Clash Royale. In the Clash Royale qualifiers, I also have played the first qualifier where I could not qualify. I just came to the 30 spots, and afterwards in the second qualifier, I came to the best 16 players, I think it was, but I couldn't qualify because there are so many good people playing CR in Luxembourg, and I was a bit how can I say this? I will say shocked because I just knew about two people who were very good here in Luxembourg, and that's one of them who joined Outplay eSports like Crypto, and also OP Barry, so Outplay eSports Barry. Both of them qualified in the first qualifying on May, and they are now facing a few newcomers like Blackpearl, for example. And there Crypto lost his first match, but I think there were some complications in the rule set. I've seen something like that they were discussing about card banning, and so I think he lost his match due to the rule set. One of the newcomers is probably Orange. I wrote to him during the qualifying, and I think he's representing also 11F Gaming. I'm not sure about this. Yeah, what can I say about some people? Yeah, there's Royal Family Total. I think it was in the second qualifier where we had a few discussions about him, and a few people here in Luxembourg weren't very proud about something that he did because there was a discussion about it that he was also playing on another account for one of his friends to qualify him. So they were, how do I can say this? He was on a close edge to get disqualified, but afterwards he had the chance to continue on our league. As we can see, he played with a Shy Guy his match and won 2-0. And I think he's also on the highest spots on the CEL spots. Yeah, there's also Belgral. I had to face him in the qualifications, where I also lost 2-0, and as we can see, he won his match here versus the Beast 2-0. Another two people which I faced on, that was Lurenko and Lara. Due to Lara, I couldn't qualify myself for the matches, and there she had to play against Lurenko, which beat her. Yeah. Another match this year, Black Pearl, who won his second match also versus Lord Luca. Afterwards, there's Royal Family Total, who won his second match too, and Crypto, who can put comeback, as I can say, on his second match with a 2-1. Yeah, who's also important? There's Barry. I think he won also his second match, and is so on the higher spots. And yeah, and there's also the third match of Royal Family Total. So he won every match 2-0. So that means he won flawless the first week, and I think he's also on the first spot. Yeah. We said that we go then to the standings. Yes. Yeah, there we see that Crypto won his match versus Lurenko also 2-0. And there we go. Yes, as I already said, Total won his 3 matches, so he got 3 points. Black Pearl, who also but Crypto is also on the higher spots with 3 points. Afterwards, we'll go to our Luxembourg representatives like Medal from Dukestom, who has 2 points now, and then Outplay eSports, Barry at Crypto, who are yes, they also had 2 points. Both of them lost one match. And then comes Orange, who is also following up those very strong players with 2 points. And on the last spot, there's Herbeni LP. Yeah, I think that the both best players of CR here in Luxembourg are actually Crypto and Barry, because both were playing during the last few weeks very lot of games. They were chatting with each other which decks they could use during the tournaments, because on Monday the new season in Clash Royale started, so there were a lot of balance changings, and I think there were 8 cards that got nerfed, either buffed, and that will change the whole gameplay during our weeks during the PEL. And yeah, that means that the whole meta actually in the game changed. Yeah, on the second side on our standings, there's Lourenco also following up with 2 points. Belgual, then Shy Guy, I think he's also one who already won a few champion matches in Luxembourg. I think he got also one time champion, but he just won one match and lost 2. So that means for him that he has to go on in the next few weeks. And there's also Royal Family Lord Luca, which is also chatting with our Luxembourgish players like Crypto or Barry, where they are changing out which decks will be strong in the next few weeks. Yeah, what can I say about those? In my opinion, I think that actually Outplay Esports has the strongest players in every competition in the PEL, and I could predict that every one of them will go to the playoffs after those 7 weeks of those group stages. Yeah, and I think that's pretty everything that I can say about the standings and the matches. Probably in the next few weeks I will have more informations about a few players. I will write to them, communicate with them, and probably I will get some video material where I can show you during the stream, or some best of those matches. Yeah, and there we have our last standing list. I think Blackie and Lara are 2 of those who I had to face off during the qualifiers. Yeah, I have to say that everyone in the qualifiers was definitely stronger than me. And now when I'm seeing that those people are actually on the last spots, I can't even imagine how strong those people are in the first spots, because I had not the chance to play versus them. But also those people have problems until now to face off some people, because they don't know what to play during this meta, because they have now to improve which cards are actually the best to choose. Yeah. So I think that's everything I wanted to say. I say thank you to everyone to watch, and we'll go on to the next things, to League of Legends, I think it was.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Noah, for the short heads up on FIFA and what's the other game called? Clash Royale.
Clash Royale.
Wow. I think we're gonna head into a short break now, and then we're gonna see each other with the news about League of Legends from this week and the game of the week afterwards. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PEL Weekly, and welcome back. We are going to talk a little bit about the king discipline of the post esports league. At least that's my point of view. League of Legends, and yeah, should we? Or I will first let you guys say something.
Well, this this week we had a surprising amount of results. We had Outplay Esports winning 2-0, so the entire Outplay company is looking strong in this first week of PL. A second team that was played is the second game that was played is RFE Knüppel Club against Northbound side, which also had a dominant lead in for Knüppel Club, who took that encounter 2-0. And the last encounter was Team Kaio versus Brotherhood of the Red Lion, the only until now only 1-1 encounter of this week.
Yeah, and the most surprising encounter of this week, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's true.
Because if you look at the qualifiers, I mean, we have those 8 teams who qualified for Post Esports League in 2 very exciting qualifiers during May, and there were 2 qualifiers because there was first a round of 12 teams who were fighting for the best 2 spots,
Yeah.
and qualifying in the first weekend, and then we had a second weekend of qualifiers where it was a lot easier to qualify, where the other 6 teams were able to qualify themselves. And Brotherhood of the Red Lions and Outplay Esports were those teams qualifying first. And to be honest, I expected after the qualifier, I expected a lot of Brotherhood of the Red Lion, and I'm kind of surprised that they actually lost against Team Kaio in
Well,
one game.
well, me too. Looking at both the first and second qualifier, we saw a very good play of Outplay Esports and Brotherhood of the Red Lion being the first teams to qualify for the PL and also getting the 3-0 seed and instantly going to the finals in the first qualifier. So they were actually looking really strong, and Outplay Esports still remained with that strength. But Brotherhood of the Red Lion, we don't know. Could be that they had one wrong decision in a game, or just a game where everyone was a bit fed up. We don't know, but surprisingly, they only won one game of both.
Yes. So yeah, so we have, or I personally think that we have 2 big favorites for this post esports league, which are still Outplay Esports definitely, and Brotherhood of the Red Lions, as they were qualifying on the first weekend. And we know quite a bit about those teams. Loic, would you like to talk a little bit about what we know about them?
Sure. And as you said, we have Outlay Esports, which seems to be one of the most definite favorites for this post esports league, as it is kind of a comeback of players we have seen, and we have seen quite a bit of them. As the team leader is Ginge, who is most known for being probably the best League of Legends player in Luxembourg, as he's played in many tournaments outside of Luxembourg as well. And he also participated in the other big tournaments here in Luxembourg the last few years, in the LGX tournaments. We saw him last September playing there in the finals,
Yeah.
and he himself is a very strong player, and his entourage are just as strong players. They have a very strong and solid comp. They definitely have very high chances to win this season. But of course, nothing is set in stone yet. It's just only the first week of the PEL, but we already have a very strong team here. Not to forget, also, I think there's Dynunk in his team, which we've seen already during the last LGX, with very strong performances on the top lane. So definitely watch out for them. As for Brotherhood of the Lions, I think some of those players also played quite some tournaments here in Luxembourg too. I know that they have some pretty good players, as well as Royal Family, which are definitely a very active esports team here around. And
Well, for Royal Family, I don't know that
I've
much. If I remember well, they were off the screen for quite some time now, and they just now for Post Esports League came back as the Knüppel Club originally named, and I don't know if in between that time they just stopped playing or if they were taking a break something, but yeah, it seems like they came back just as strong as they were when they left. Um, After the first Luxembourg Rift Tournament season.
Yeah, they were one of the teams that were able to qualify for the Baron fight. And I mean, all those teams that back then in the first season of our Rift tournament were able to qualify themselves for the Baron fight were very strong teams. And we can see it also for, as you mentioned, Royal Family, but also a surprising underdog is TSK, since TSK has played in nearly every Luxembourg Rift team season. I think in the first season we had actually two teams even, TSK1 and TSK2, and I'm a bit hyped for the game that we will watch afterwards because we will see them playing against Corona Difference, which also is a new team, but an underdog, I would say, because they had in the first qualifier they had it a bit rough playing against the two strong teams, but afterwards in the second qualifier they still managed to qualify themselves, and they will play today against TSK.
Yes, and as you said, we saw already a lot of TSK now over the last few months. And I personally feel like from all the teams we've seen up to now, it is definitely the team which has had the most growth out of all over all of this time.
Yeah,
I feel like back then they were not as strong as they are now, and I think there has been a lot of progress made over the last few months, and I really have high hopes for that team that they will give us a very good performance. So
Yeah,
yeah,
couldn't
definitely.
agree more with that. I think TSK, when you look back at the first Rift tournament this season, and the TSK that showed up last Rift tournament season in the qualifier, there's definitely a very very big improvement. And I've talked a little bit with some team captains about TSK, and all of them were only having good words for them, that they improved a lot. And I'm really excited for TSK. I'm really excited to see how much more they will improve during the season, and if they can go from one of the maybe lower tier teams to one of favorites for the title.
Yeah, it's definitely the strongest TSK we have seen yet. I assume that they will grow they will grow further in strength, looking at the progress they had during that 1 year gap. And yeah, we will try to stream games every week. Mostly we try to do it on the weekends. So we hope that at least every week we have one or two teams encountering themselves on a weekend so that we can stream them. And yeah, today TSK against Corona differences. Corona difference. What are your guys' guess? Who's gonna take that one today?
I would say before we head over to today's confrontation, let's just look shortly at the standings here. So currently we have Royal Family, Knüppel Club, and Outplay Esports at the top of the ladder because they both won their respective sets entirely. So let me shortly talk about how the league is built up, actually. Um, every team plays 2 games a week against the same enemy. This goes on for, I think it's 8 weeks. Well, everybody's going to face everybody once. After that, the 6 teams with the best win-lose ratios or with the most wins will go into playoffs. And yeah, so that's the standings that you see here and that are going to be updated throughout the seasons. And currently we have Royal Family Knüppel Club and Outplay Esports at the top of this ladder as they both won their sets entirely. We have Team Kaio and Brotherhood of the Red Lion, which both won one game against each other and lost one game against each other. That Anna team and North Bonside lost their games against Knüppel Club and Outplay. And Team Slicko and Difference are at the bottom of the list because we are going to see their games just today. Anybody else want to say something?
Not much more to be said here, but yeah, I know I haven't seen any of the other teams yet. I think some of you guys saw some of the matches that happened before, or have an idea of where those teams stand. I've been told that it seems like there is a very close level between a lot of those teams, and they seem to be on the same level more or less. So in general, we should be seeing a lot of interesting matches, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I haven't actually seen games up until now, but Noah and I we were administrating the qualifiers for Post, and so we were I had the possibility to look how which teams are going somehow through the bracket, and it gave you a little bit of a feeling for the team still. And
Yeah.
also, if you look at the results and the respective game statistics, you see that some teams get rather stomped by other teams or not. And if you would have to have playoffs now, Noah, who would you set where?
Definitely looking at the performance that each team showed in the respective qualifiers, I would assume that Outplay Esports is definitely one of the finalists, and I would even go as far as saying that Brotherhood of the Red Lions and Outplay Esports will be top contenders for the first place.
Even though they lost against Kaio now?
Even though they lost against Kaio, I still believe that that they have it in themselves. I assume they just had a rough time and they were maybe a bit they took a bit too easy alternative to the game instead of focusing on it. At least it's what I'm assuming. Um, Second place for contenders definitely goes to TSK and Corona Difference. I think in the second qualifier they were both of them were the most advanced teams, we could say, or we could put it like that. At least they showed the best performance. Um, but I would not underestimate Royal Family. I can see them also in the place. It's just we have not seen a lot of them in the past year, so I'm not sure on them yet. But I think in 2-3 weeks we can know more about it and we can take better assumptions on it. That Anna team and North Bronzeside are sadly looking a bit more on the lower tier, but nevertheless, also an underdog can sometimes take out a win out of a top player or top team.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely think that as long as a team qualified for this part of the tournament, I do think there's a certain level to them because
Yeah.
I mean they have in qualifiers and they played against other teams, which means if they were able to qualify for this, they were better than other teams and they
Yeah.
probably have something inside of them.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
also think
Oh, sorry.
um We didn't mention much Team Kaio. I think
Yeah, I wanted to go over them. They are, I think, they are newcomers, right?
I don't know. I feel like I've heard the name somewhere before. I
No,
think
no,
it's
no. Team Kaio is not a newcomer team. Team Kaio is actually a pretty renowned team from France or from France Mosel
Oh,
region,
okay.
and they have been winning a lot of tournaments in that area lately. So
So
that's
yeah,
definitely a team you should have an eye on,
Mm.
and they are not a bad team. So that Brotherhood of the Red Lion lost, we are making it look like it's a big deal. It's not like Team Kaio is nothing and you beat them easily, but I think we just were personally expecting more from our Luxembourgish players and this team. But as we also know, their team captain and some of the players. But Team Kaio is definitely a team you always should have an eye on and you should look out for.
yeah, my rankings would be on first seed would be Outplay and Brotherhood. For second seed, I'm putting 4 teams in it because TSK, Corona Difference, Team Kaio, and Royal Family have shown good performance. Like they managed to be top contenders in the second qualifier, and yeah, North Bronzeside actually played in both qualifiers, and they still managed to get their seat in the second one. And yeah, I would put North Bronzeside and that other team on the third seed.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I would go with a pretty similar guess. I think we're looking at three tiers here of teams a little
Yeah.
bit, but as Loic mentioned already, all of these teams definitely have accomplished something already by just qualifying for the Post Esports League, and it's not like it was an easy thing to do.
No.
I just scrambled out my sheets from the qualifiers, and if you look at the names who didn't even make it um, to Post Esports League, you have names like Dukestem Esports, which is a university team here from Luxembourg that just started, but they also were very solid and they were not bad.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
you have My Revenge, for example, which is also a team that is actually seeded in Germany, but they have a Luxembourg expansion here, My Revenge Academy. And I was also expecting quite a lot of them when I saw that they were taking a start on the qualifier, but they didn't make it to the qualifier either. You have Nocturnal Esports who didn't make it. You have who else do we have here? You have Holy Jesus Gang, who were quite fun to watch during the last Luxembourg Rift tournaments, but are not bad players. I mean, in the
No, no,
first
definitely
tournament,
not.
in the very first qualifier, they even made it to a 2-0 spot, and then
Yeah,
they
and then they had to
completely dropped out of the qualifier from there.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I think their seed 2-0 was a bit rough because they had to play against Outplay Esports and Brotherhood of the Red Lion, and yeah, that was harsh for them.
That's a tough start.
Yeah,
But in
that's true.
general, I feel like they're also not taking it as seriously as other players in those competitions. At least that's the feeling I got from them when they played in our tournament. They were more on the light-hearted side
They want
of
to
the
have
whole
fun.
thing, but and yet they still managed to play really well against other strong teams. So that's something I was actually pretty impressed by.
Yeah, that's true. But I think
yeah,
they, instead of taking the yeah, I need to win route, I think they want to have fun. It's for them, it's they want to have fun, they are friends, and in my opinion, it's the right approach. Even if you are sadly not able to qualify for the esports league, they showed good games, they had good games, they showed a solid performance, and yeah, they sadly had to face both strong teams in this season.
yeah. I mean, after all, fun is the most important thing to have.
Yeah,
Like League of Legends, as much it is a competition, it is still a game. And if you're not having fun as a team playing together, and try-harding, you are not going to be a good team, in my opinion. Because
That's true.
if you are not having fun with what you're doing, you're not going to be good at it. So, it's getting closer and closer to 5 o'clock where the game is going to start, and I want to talk a little bit about the confrontation of today. Team Slick against Corona Difference, guys. What do you think?
I can
Well-
see a 1-1. I'm going to be straightforward. I can see a 1-1. Team Slick winning one game and Corona Difference winning the other one.
We'd have then half the matches with a clear winner, half the matches with a draw.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, I've never seen Corona Difference play. So from what I've heard from you guys, they are pretty good contenders. Although I think this is going to be an interesting match then, because if both teams have a good level, this could be very interesting. And indeed, I think that a draw is not out of the question in that case. But just hope they have fun and the best team will win. And
Yeah.
make a nice show for us.
So,
Yeah.
both teams qualified doing the second qualifier for Post Esports League, and Corona Difference went with a 3-0 qualification, very early qualification during that qualifier. Meanwhile, TSK qualified 3-1, I think. So they had the worst qualification, but on the other hand, they had the possibility to gain more experience and have a look at some more teams than Corona Difference did. So, what will be more of an advantage today, and is that representative for the skill? We will about to find out.
Yeah.
So I would say Tweeback just made a good recommendation in the chat to make a poll for what the chat thinks who is gonna win.
Yeah, that's true.
Tekai, maybe you could get that on the way. And in the meantime, what are your bets? I would go with a Noah. You already said you would go with a 1-1 here.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard to say. Like, I think Team Slick definitely improved a lot, and I think they're pretty solid. But on the other hand, Corona Difference are also very strong players.
Yeah,
And
that's why I'm going for 1-1 and not a 2-0 for either team. I've even though Corona Difference seeded or got qualified with 3-0 and TSK only with 3-1, we saw the improvement of TSK. So I'm not going to deny that they are a strong team, but this confrontation is really difficult to, or it's difficult to draw out a winner of the confrontation, and that's why I'm going for 1-1 because I think both teams are going to be winners this time around.
I'm gonna say I think Corona Difference is going to win today, 2-0. And I think that TSK would beat them at the end of the season. Like, I think Corona Difference at the
standings.
moment. Yeah, no, and also if they would play again at the ending of the season, I think TSK would win.
Oh, okay.
Because I think Corona Difference for the moment is the better team because they have very strong, solid players. But I think TSK just is putting in a lot of effort and practice and improvement. And I think if they keep that going for the entire season, they could just about beat anybody at the end.
The
Yeah,
poll is
and
online.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
as I
and I'm
can
gonna
see in the chat, a lot of people cheering for TSK already.
yeah. I guess we're gonna leave you guys to the poll. Give us your opinions, and we're gonna head into a short break again. Get the game set up, make sure that we are invited and stuff like that. And then we are gonna be back with the first game of Corona Difference against Team Slick. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about to head into the first confrontation of this week. Well, it's not the first confrontation. There have been games played already this week, but it's the first confrontation we are going to look at. And yeah, it's going to be between Team Slick and Corona Difference. And we are in the pick and ban phase.
Alrighty, and it goes pretty fast. They all seem to know what they want to ban. We've had a Nunu and Kled ban very early on, and followed up by a Vladimir and Cillian ban. And yeah.
Yeah, I guess both teams had time to prepare for today's matchup, and I guess they also did prepare for today. Or at least prepare their pick and ban phase and maybe think of some strats they wanted to play. I think Nunu is kind of a target ban here against Corona Difference, as they have a pretty good Nunu player on their team.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's always a good Nunu player somehow, right?
Yeah, that's actually also true. Up until
and
now,
now
in every stream we had Nunu players, so
I mean, Nunu is a cool champ, right?
actually, yeah.
Yeah, first pick was Yasuo for Corona Difference. I guess it's gonna be Yasuo top or mid lane. Flex pick here. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I'm intrigued by the pick. It could be either top lane or mid lane. We could even see a bot lane Yasuo. I mean, it's a possibility. He is in the bot lane, pool. So yeah, I don't know. Depends what they're going to do. I assume they will try to get any CC, any knockups for him to be able to assist him in every way, shape, or in every shape or form. But on the other hand, we have also Kaiser and Gragas. Gragas, in my opinion, also a good choice in this case because he can disengage very easily with his ult, especially against Yasuo's. That it should be strong enough to deny Yasuo, or at least back off his ult a bit. Because if he engages, he might be alone in 5 people, and that would not be a wise choice for Yasuo. Unless he's feeded, then yeah, Yasuo can
Yeah,
one
and I also think
Yasuo
it's
can
a
one
little
v
bit. I think it's also a little bit of a takeaway. Like, you don't want to give Gragas to a team that has Yasuo, right? Because
Definitely
the
not.
ultimate combination is very strong, and Gragas is always a very solid jungler. But I think Kai'Sa also is a very interesting pick here, because Kai'Sa, we haven't seen her quite in long. She kind of dropped out of the meta, and now she's back. Apparently, or at least she's being played by TSK. Maybe they have a certain strat around her.
Well, she's coming back right now. She has a comeback. Usually, you see Caitlyn is often banned in ranked. Um, I can see the Kalista ban from the side of TSK because Kalista would be one of those champs who would give a knock up to Yasuo with her ultimate. So that would be good for them, and they hovered it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they wanted TSK to ban it or they actually thought about picking it. But either way, Kalista is banned right now, and Vayne is a strong ADC if you look at what was picked or what is still picked by TSK. They have 3 tanks on their team, and what does Vayne do? She just messes with tanks. Like, they are nothing for her. So this is a very good ban for the side of TSK. And looking into it furthermore, they are banning out ADC after ADC from Vayne on. So they want to limit the pool of ADCs, and I think that Ezreal as well as Varus are still good options. Maybe MF would also have been a good option into them.
Well, we
Y-
already have the Varus now.
Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah, I think they're missing a jungler right now. So yeah, it's kind of the best thing you can pick with Yasuo. Well,
Yeah,
now.
I think this
Okay.
Yasuo is gonna be well served.
Yeah.
Also with the Lulu ultimates, just imagining Zac jumping in there, wreaking havoc, followed up by freaking Yasuo. That can be a pretty strong combo. Although I feel like TSK, and if they do pick Azir, that also plays in that direction.
Ooh.
They have a team comp that is really good at diffusing this kind of situation.
Well, they
Heavy CC on Nautilus, Gragas ult can easily diffuse any fight. His E, tremendous to defend yourself. Followed up, we have the Azir ulti and Urgot, which if you get in his face, you're probably gonna get a lot of damage yourself.
yeah,
So
I think they have a good comp that can catch up to people or even catch people in itself. You have Azir who can insect someone into your team. Nautilus ult, yeah, you are not going to dodge that. A Gragas ult flying into your face is also pretty bad. So um, I'm going as far as even saying that TSK has a really, really solid team fight composition. I mean, you Urgot can be 0-6 and still output a lot of damage and be tanky as hell. Gragas, a solid jungler right now. Azir, he has his wave clear. He has the potential to insect people into your team fight, as well as denying team fights with his ult. Kai'Sa, I mean, she can jump everywhere, be invisible, do a fuck ton of damage. And Nautilus, a solid supporter since, I don't know, 3 seasons? I mean,
yes.
they have every tool they need in their kit to take out or catch Yasuo, Varus, Lulu.
Especially, I think they have quite a lot of CC and throwing around people. Like Gragas can throw you around, Asi can throw you around both with their ultimate. Urgot can throw you around with your ultimate, and then you have Nautilus who is a CC monster. So TSK definitely have a lot of CC on their side. They also have
Yeah,
quite some damage on their side, but they are relying a lot on AP damage here, apart from Urgot and Kai'Sa who's doing hybrid damage. On the other side, we have Corona Difference um, with heavy AD damage on Yasuo and Varus, and only Echo really with quite some AP damage.
depending on how Zac is standing, he can also at some point start doing quite a lot of damage because he scales really good with his HP.
yeah. The problem is, I'm I'm not sure how good Zac is in the top lane right now. Um, the last top lane performance of Zac that I saw was Bippo getting annihilated. And yeah, I hope Happy Faker is better than Bippo with Zac, but it can be a very tough matchup against Urgot as Zac.
I feel in
Wait,
Um,
general,
that's a top lane Zac.
yeah, it's a top lane
Jungle
Zac. It's an
Echo.
it's a jungle echo, and you should not underestimate jungle echo. He can, if he succeeds and gets a bit fed, he can one shot Kai'Sa or Azir. If
yeah,
they
Echo
do,
is very strong in the jungle at the moment. I
yeah,
feel like I've been seeing him a lot up there on the tier list for junglers. And as you
yeah,
said, he does a shit ton of damage. I think that might be what they're going for. Because once they get de-engaged, the good engaged, they can put out a lot of damage very quickly. Maybe even before the enemies can react.
mm,
Because unfortunately, well, yes, TSK has a lot of ways of diffusing it, but Corona Difference has a lot of ways of chaining big CCs. It can go
that's
from
true.
one AoE stun to AoE knockups to the Yasuo to the etc. etc. And I think that can do a lot of damage if pulled off
Yeah,
correctly.
that's true. I mean, you have the easy chain of Varus ulting someone, Zac jumping in, Echo going in and going in on it, and Yasuo just ulting afterwards. So they have a pretty solid team comp, and I don't know, both teams have solid catch capabilities. If you look at it, if you get hooked by Nautilus, your chance of surviving if Kai'Sa and anybody else is around, pretty low. But the same goes for Corona Difference. If you get hit by a Varus ulti, you are pretty much gonna die, unless you are the tank of TSK. Then you might have a chance of escaping it. But nonetheless, I'm very hyped for the game, and I want to see the performance of both teams.
Yes, and
Yeah,
we
and
are now in game.
yeah, exactly. That's what I want to say too. And need to get
Things. Well, both teams are already moving out. So as the
Yeah.
game goes, they seem to be spreading out evenly.
Yeah, I think we won't see an invade
Oh,
this game.
yeah. Better be safe than sorry.
That's true.
Especially with some of these champs. I mean, Echo can snowball pretty fast as well as can do a Yasuo, so I would also rather not take a risk here.
Yeah, I'm still surprised by the picks of Corona Difference. I thought it would be something like Yasuo top lane, Echo mid lane, and Zac jungle. But yeah, it's entirely the other way. We have an Echo jungle with Dark Harvest, so he wants to get some kills. Yasuo, obviously, Yasuo, and Zac on top lane. I'm surprised by it. Because if you play Zac top lane, yeah, you have the potential to bully your opponent, but he's playing against Urgot, and Urgot is pretty much bullying every top laner right now. And on the other hand, I have the feeling that you lose a lot of your roaming potential with it.
Yeah, I'm afraid Zac is a very strong champion in the jungle because he has a really good clear and his gangs are very strong. So I feel like putting him on the top lane is kind of limiting him, as you said also, to roam because he's not gonna be able to roam as much. Else Urgot is gonna push really fast. We have already
Yeah.
early a very good grab from
Oh,
Nautilus.
nice hook and a very good trade for TSK. Barely getting any damage, and I
In
mean, if
general, very
Nautilus,
aggressive.
yeah, well, you can abuse, depending on the matchups, you can abuse level 1, especially with something like a Leona or a Nautilus who have a lot of CC. Nautilus has the great thing about level 1 Nautilus engages are if you get hooked, most of the time you will be stunned afterwards because of his passive. He auto attacks you, and you remain stunned, and that's a great way to secure traits for yourself. And it just get worse with level 2 because he can then EU, so you have less movement to escape the poke. And with Kai'Sa, I mean, you can get a lot of damage in those 2 seconds.
And
yeah.
we have a very aggressive playstyle right off the bat from TSK here. With also on the mid lane we have Azir putting a lot of poke on Yasuo.
Oh, and
As
now we
well
have
as
both junglers here facing off
Oh,
next to the snake crab.
yeah.
And this looks quite bad for Echo because Urgot is roaming down, and this should secure the snake crab for TSK here.
Yeah, unfortunately for Echo, neither bot lane nor top lane had any pressure. Both of them were pushed in. So I mean, as jungler, you want to get Scuttle Crab, but you cannot force a Scuttle Crab if both of your laners are being pushed in, and you have to pay attention there because you are likely to lose Scuttle Crab and maybe even die in such a situation.
another grab.
Oh, and a nice hook from Nautilus, and a nice amount of damage coming onto Varus. And
yeah,
again,
but Kaiser, I think it would have been worth definitely there to stay a little bit longer and get that last auto attack out. She were having the 4 stacks ready, and that would have
Yeah.
been quite a lot of damage. Now we
Oh.
see an engage here on the top lane between onto Urgot, and on the other side we have a gang on the mid lane. Yasuo
Attacking on
dropping
mid
really
lane.
low here,
Oh,
and
nice
he's
flash,
not able
and it's
to
going to be
escape.
first blood for Azir. A nice flash from Gargas, securing the kill. Well, not securing, but securing the CC with it to give Azir the kill. And and on the meantime, Urgot managed to survive on top lane.
Yes,
And-
however, he had to back port and lose quite some CC XP also. And yeah, Zac is surprisingly gaining the upper hand here on the top lane. He has a lot more farm than Urgot does.
Right now, yes,
And
but we should not forget the fact that Urgot is being pushed on the tower, so he has a huge minion wave in front of his tower right now, and Zac might lose one entire wave due to a slow push into his direction, because the wave is going to stack on the Urgot's tower, and in the meantime, Zac is gonna lose some CS. So I think they will even out fairly soon.
And we also have coronavirus. Oh my
Corona
god.
difference. Corona difference, please.
That's just the you say one word and you say another with that word all the time right now.
Yeah.
So it just fits, you know. We have
Yeah.
Corona difference on the bot lane already backing quite early. I think that was really good back from them because they're back in the lane and Kaisa barely holds up with the farm now compared to Varus.
That's true.
So they cannot just back now.
once
Look-
again, we see
Look at
some
this.
Well, he
fighting
can,
on top
yeah,
lane, and
Zac can
both
go
of
in.
them dealing a lot of damage. Urgot dropping low here. Oh,
Yeah.
but the minion is in the way.
Good
and
escape from him. I
yeah, on
think
the other side,
Zac still has his passive, so he might be able. I would not go as far as risking a tower dive onto an Urgot, but yeah,
we had
Urgot.
Corona difference getting the first drag of the game here, and
Ooh.
Nautilus checking that and barely escaping.
Yeah, he put himself in a very precarious position there.
Yeah. Well, if he wanted to back either way, it's fine, but it was risky though. Like, I mean, yeah, he's Half-Life right now, and if he wanted to back anyway, okay, sure. But the move was risky because he had no backup from Kai'Sa, and Kai'Sa has no heals. So if he was getting low, he was going to die.
I think they would probably have moved to the bot lane anyways. Corona difference as they did just do Dragon. Echo was there.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
think
Varus also had his Varus also had his back, so he had no interest in
Yeah.
going back again.
I don't think Nautilus did that bad. I think he might have just diffused a bit even a potentially dangerous gank.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more like the free Drake TSK just gave
Yeah.
up that I find quite worrisome.
I don't think they knew that it was being done, and very well played from Zac here on the dodges.
Yeah.
Because TSK had no vision really close to the Drake or going out of their bot lane.
Yeah, they managed. I think they managed to the Drake was free. Bot lane had pressure on the other on TSK's bot lane, so they knew, okay, we can go for Drake because we are not going to, or we don't need to force it. We can just take it, and also deep vision plays a big role in that scenario, and they had deep ward, so they knew. Gragas was not going to be a threat for them.
Also, top lane once again. Zag is out farming quite well for
Yeah.
now. He's holding on quite well.
Oh,
And
and Urgot once
this was a
again going
risky
hard
engage from
on the
Urgot, and he's going
Zac,
to
but
pay
that's
for
what
it.
he did not had to do because Echo was just around the corner, and that's the first kill of this game for Corona Difference. And even some turret platings for their side, which will give them the gold lead the first time in this game.
Yeah, this was very nice played from Happy Faker from Zach. He knew Echo was on his way, so he knew he could challenge Urgot, and yeah, Urgot was not messing around. He wanted to fight Zach, but he was forgetting about the enemy jungler who could be next to him, and he got punished for it.
I think even without Echo, he would have gotten him because
Ye-
Urgot was already very low when Echo arrived.
Yeah, that's
And to be
true.
fair, it's Zach's ulti which does so much damage. We already saw in that last confrontation they had when Zach hit level 6, used
Yeah,
his ulti to defend himself. He put out a lot of damage very quickly to the Urgot.
I can
And
I,
yeah,
I can see Urgot winning the fight, but only if Zach um has his passive.
Hmm.
If Zach has his passive, Zach, I don't think that Urgot can kill the blobs fast enough. So yeah, if Zach has his passive, he's going to win 100%. Without passive, he might lose the fight, but I think his passive is still active, so he can just fight on top lane, and he does not need to give a crap about it.
we have Echo trying a lane gank on the bot lane.
Yeah, this.
Oh.
Ooh. No, they have no ward.
Ooh, very
And
nice.
it connects.
Ooh.
Yeah, she has to use cleanse, but it's. Ooh. Yeah,
When the lot of damage on the Nautilus here, and
Oh.
that means the bot lane has to back off, and Drake is about to
Yeah.
come up. So this will not only be quite a few Drake platings on the tower, maybe, but also they can gain
second
a lot of
Drake.
vision around this Drake and maybe get it even.
Yeah, they could get a second Drake from it. Um, right now we have, I would say, a very solidly CS lead on top lane for Zac. The jungler actually are a bit inverted because Gragas is ahead in the jungle experience.
Yeah, I think
Mid lane
Gragas
is
has a better time early game clearing camps with his massive AoE damage.
yeah, but we should not forget that Gragas took his time power farming, whilst Echo, I think he already ganked 3 times, if not even
Yeah,
4
and
times.
especially he had good ganks that
Yeah.
actually did something.
Well, Gragas
Now
also
we
had a
had the
gank
first
that
Drake
gave.
player, and Corona Difference was aware of that. They wanted to
Yeah.
fight this, but they were just not able to. Urgot used his
Oh,
DP
the
to come
ult was
down.
able. Nice ult from Gragas, denying the Drake entrance for Echo and securing the Drake with it. So that was very. It was a smart choice of Gragas.
Rotation now from the Corona Difference bot lane to the mid lane.
Yeah,
Apparently.
both top laners use TP,
Oh, I think
and
they're
yeah, they have
setting up
super
again
presence.
from Echo here on the bot lane. On the other side, we have in the mid lane some action going on. TSK putting Yasuo under a lot of pressure, and your name going down here. And that's another kill for TSK. On the other side, we had the gank from Echo on the bot lane, and TSK's bot lane has to go back yet again.
And we had a very nice insect from King of Clowns here on the mid lane, and a very good follow-up from Gragas. It got closer because without the exhaust, I don't think they would have gotten Yasuo, to be fair.
Okay, my first thought when I saw TSK bot lane going top lane now, I was like, okay, they don't want to face that anymore. They don't want to get ganked anymore. But actually, it is a pretty good idea because Drake is not up for quite a few seconds, and the next objective here is Rift Herald, which is being started now. But unfortunately, Gragas already goes down before this bot lane is there, and now Corona Difference has the upper hand on this side on the map and on the other side of the map, as they can freely push the bot lane tower against Urgot. And this is a very bad situation for TSK.
Yeah. It was good. The attention was there, but unfortunately, it seems like it has heavily backfired on them now.
Yeah, Gragas got caught way too early there, and that changed the whole thing around for them. Otherwise, they could have gotten at least Rift Herald and maybe top tower with that. But like this, they lost on both sides of the map, and that's the worst case scenario. Now they have Rift Herald against them on top lane. Meanwhile, Urgot still has to hold against Corona Difference bot lane, and he's having a very tough
nearly
time.
dying to
Yeah,
it.
He's that was close.
Yeah, that was
He
very
had
close
like
for both of
30
them.
HP out of the fight.
yeah. Top lane tower went down 2 now, and bot lane tower is just about to.
Yeah, the next wave should be enough to get that tower, and then we will have a 2-tower lead for Corona Difference.
That Lulu Varus bot lane is really powerful.
Yeah,
I feel like
especially if Varus goes for the Rage Blade build.
yeah, and Lulu can just give him more attack speed with this W.
And Arden's Cancer.
I mean that's gonna be
Quite strong Varus.
yeah. As an already very strong lane, but just start.
Yeah, I think the only worrisome thing for Corona Difference at this moment of the game is that Yasuo is not really well getting into this game, because he's only 2-0 at this point, and I think
0-2.
as
0-2.
one of the big carries of their team, they want to get him a little bit better into the game. But in general, they're looking quite strong here, and TSK might definitely want to watch out for that next Drake. They already secured quite some vision around it, so they will at least not get surprised again by Corona Difference taking a dragon. And yeah, this is definitely going to be the Nets' objective. Tension is building up here.
Yeah, you can already see that even though both teams are kill-wise, etc., pretty close together, and I feel like there's also no too big discrepancies in farm on the bot lane. I feel like Corona Difference has way stronger objective play right now than TSK.
Yeah, and I think it's not like TSK is not aware of the objectives, but their moves were just not as strong around the objectives up until now. And I'm really excited to see how this next
Ooh, here
fight
we
is
go.
going to go on. And this is the fight. Nice ultimate from Yasuo. Corona
Wow.
Difference destroying TSK under the tower here. And that's a free tower at least, and Drake for Corona Difference.
That's what I
Very-
meant.
A
You
very
have
solid
Zac
tower dive.
coming in with the AoE stun, and if he gets everybody with his ult and is followed up by the Yasuo, that is just
Yeah.
the fight for them. Holy cow! And
Yeah, I
the Lulu
mean,
ulti
how-
on the Zac, damn, that hurts too.
Yeah, and then you have a Varus ultimate following up. You have Varus Q and E, which
Yeah.
are also area damage. You have Lulu with her Q area damage. You have Echo, who is perfectly on close areas.
That is
So,
a
yeah.
very strong power.
This was
Very strong power.
pretty much the perfect team fight that, or the best team fight scenario that Corona Difference could get.
Yeah.
And now we have to re-engage here from Team Slick, who wants to make up for their losers, but Echo is easily able to escape with his ultimate.
Very well timed ult there. This side. Yeah, and even under the turrets, they were able to pull off something like that without that big of a lead.
Oh, and a new engage from TSK, and Echo.
Echo, he
Echo
doesn't
is
have his
going to
ult this
die.
time, and he's going down.
That's a shutdown for TSK.
Let this be your warning. Nice, Urgot. And now TSK in a good position to push a little bit for this tower here. Zac once again trying with the long range engage here, but nobody of his team is around apart from Varus, and they cannot fight this 2v4. And TSK, however, knows that backup is coming now, and they are looking to not overextend this, playing it safely as they should.
Yes, and we now have Corona Difference taking quite a bit of a lead. I mean, a more considerable lead at least than before, because TSK still hasn't pushed a single tower. Meanwhile, mid lane is already almost open. They're at the inhib turret, which puts them in really good position to roam around the map. And having a Zac coming from the side for the enemy jungle quite easily, that can be very dangerous for them. For TSK.
we had a couple of lane swaps, and they are going for the full engage on Varus, but Azir doesn't manage to get it off, and he has to pay with it. And this is going to be a second.
No, the damage that Varus is putting out right now. Holy cow!
This is wow. I mean, I can see the intent on going for Varus, but
But then you have to hit him.
Yeah, you have to get to him. You can't just follow behind him. Problem is that Lulu ulti saved his ass, and then he was just shredding through them.
And
then the rest of his team was able to follow up, and
this is going to be a free Baron for Corona difference. They have 4 men on the Baron, and they have Zac pushing bot lane. In the meantime, and Urgot has to either he could have gone and tried to steal the Baron, but on the other hand, he has a bot lane tower to defend. So
yes, and then he went mid lane and did nothing.
Yeah,
and that's like the worst.
That's the worst case scenario.
Option he had there.
I mean, this was a very nice play from Corona difference. Keeping Varus alive, getting getting 4 kills and a Baron. Best outcome for them.
Yeah, I mean that Echo is now 5-1, and he has 7 stacks on his Magi's, that's a ballsy move. Although I suppose on Echo it is not as ballsy. He has his ulti to keep himself safe.
Yeah. Well, he is 5-1 right now, so I can see the intent on buying Magi so early.
And Varus now hitting the 200 CS mark.
Yeah, 3-0, 200 CS. Already has his Rage Blade and his Borg, so
Azir putting up his passive on the mid lane to gain some map back here from Corona difference, but the tower is taken down immediately again, and Corona difference putting a lot of pressure on all 3 lanes right now with their Baron buff, as they should, and TSK will be in a tough spot to defend this very soon.
Yeah,
they have to defend a pushing mid lane, a pushing top lane, and a pushing bot lane.
Yeah, and now Nautilus is in a tough spot here. However, Varus dropping quite low, but they are joining each other now on the mid lane. Corona difference back together. And yeah, TSK doing a good job holding it up to now.
Yeah, we are also closing in on a 10k lead for Corona difference, and the Drake might actually do it for them.
And they're gonna probably get another Drake, and they have a lot more vision than TSK in TSK's jungle.
Well, TSK also has no chance of denying the Drake. They have to push their lanes. Well, first of all, defend their lanes, push their lanes, so that if it comes to a team fight, or if it comes to an objective fight, if their lanes are not pushed, they will maybe lose a team fight and even lose top lane towers, mid lane towers, because the lanes of Corona difference are always pushing.
Yes, and I mean they have a lot of good champs to do that, as Varus can push quite well, especially now that he has so many items already. And Zac is also just as good at pushing with all of his AoE damage, and he goes here, catching the Azir.
And immediately a lot of damage on the Azir, but now really
still going in, but
very deep here. And Azir disengaging this with his ultimate. But that's not how you want to use Azir ultimate. You want to keep it for the team fight, and this is not going to be up for the next team fight here. Meanwhile, Zac is pretty much full life still.
Yeah, but Zach's flash is also gone, so they have to, or at least Zach has to pay attention to it. If he goes in, he has protection. He has his Zhonya's, so he can just jump in, and if he gets low, he can Zhonya's.
He
But
also still
still,
has his passive.
he has his passive and he has Zhonya's.
Yeah, I think
So
it
even
definitely
even
wasn't
better.
that bad from Zach. Because catching Azir is denying them from their only way to kill one guy for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, his insects can take out even Varus if they're well done, and they're denying this for quite some time now.
that's true.
Yeah, and TSK
But
is
yeah,
still having to defend their base. They're not even able to set up vision around in their jungle because, yeah, Corona just doesn't let them out. Oh wow,
That is
That-
quite the irony, isn't it? they're true to their name.
I mean,
yeah, I guess TSK social distance. Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
but overall, we can see that those couple of fights that Corona Difference had gave them a lead, and they managed to continue on snowballing with their lead. I mean, they have a 6 tower advantage right now. They are already or they can already try to get inhib towers, maybe even inhibs. And one solid team fight of Corona Difference
Would end this game.
could
Definitely.
be enough. Could be enough.
That's the
With-
thing with their comp, because
yeah.
if they get to fight the fight they want to fight, that was a complicated sentence. But if they are able to decide when they fight, they probably win the fight because their comp is just so strong to finish a fight quickly. Once they get the good engage, it's mostly over for TSK.
Yeah.
Definitely,
and-
and the job for TSK is to not give them their fight, but to take their own fights when they want to, or at least take a catch or something like that. Like Echo is trying to do here.
like this Gragas
and
going down.
TSK Sabo very low here, and he's going down. That's the jungler for TSK down.
And
The
Nautilus
Distance
going down
Baron
very
came
quickly
up.
too.
Now we have Nautilus going down as well. Urgot very deep inside. He doesn't want to be there. Double kill for Varus, and that's a free Baron here, or even the finish if if Corona wants to push it hard now.
I think they're gonna push both lanes in. As we have Zag on the bot lane pushing too. And that's
Yeah,
cool
that's-
too, because once you're at that point in the game and you have a Zag pushing another lane, the range of his E is so big, he could in seconds join in a fight here.
Yes,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Now
they
two
take
inhibitors
two
down,
inhibs.
4 Corona difference, and they can go back now, and with the inhibs pushing, they can go for Baron. However, Gragas doesn't want to let him go back, and I don't know if that's a good
yeah,
idea,
but
because
Gragas
TSK
is going to pay for
once
it.
again
Gragas
losing this
just
fight.
inted.
Oh,
Gragas
that's-
just Oh, okay. I wanted to say that Gragas just suicided, but actually Gragas just threw the game.
That
don't
could
know
be
if-
very... And that is very bad. They're not
Gragas-
just pushing into the Nexus already.
Gragas technically just threw the game.
But I think it were more points than just this last one that lost the game to TSK, but that was definitely not a good move to Gragas.
I mean, they
But
they
it's
can
true.
be.
I feel like Sabo is not on his best day definitely today, because if you also look at
No.
the first situation that went wrong for TSK, it was him again losing or dying too early at the Rift Herald and giving it up to Corona Difference.
And Corona Difference is now gonna go and pick up the Dragon Soul.
Yeah. And this is so huge for them. It's their third 10% cooldown on ultimates. It's huge for them. I mean, more Echo ults, so he can tower dive and get back with full life. More Varus ults, which is very nice for the team, but especially more Lulu ults. So you can tower dive and come out with full life.
Oh, good flash here from Zach. Otherwise, he might have been dead there.
Oh,
And
The ult,
also,
the ult from Urgot can still kill him.
Echo has 25 stacks on his Magi's.
Yeah,
That one definitely is paying off.
yeah, that's true. He went for it and got rewarded. So yeah, this
And they're just putting so
they are
much
doing
damage on
it
that
so
Baron.
fast that it actually looks like a free Baron for them. Oh, and Gragas just
Gragas just
Rip.
exploded.
First he went in too late. Second of all,
Oh,
he's
look at
too
this farm.
squishy. And yeah, this is over. This
They
is
just
game for Corona.
4v5'd Team Slick while
Zach
Zach
was
was
pushing.
already pushing in the base.
and
Yeah.
while getting a Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is GG for Corona.
Yeah, and
And-
this was a very tough game. And while in the beginning of the game it looked like TSK could hold up, but Corona Defense at some point just turned up the speed and rolled over them. Quite
Yeah,
insane.
this was very nice played from Corona. A solid performance even from them, getting or managing to get an early lead and then pushing on and snowballing with that lead. Looks like TSK had no chance. They took. It's not that they took some fights that they were going to lose, but some of the decisions were taken too quick and they were punished for it. Gragas dying before a necessary objective like a Baron buff is not good. And yeah, afterwards just running into team to I mean I can see that you want to catch Varus, but if 4 people of you die just to get Varus, that's not a good trade. It's a very bad trade.
Definitely a rough one for TSK, but there's gonna be a second match, so hopefully for
So
them
yeah,
they're gonna take it
Corona
back this time.
Defense 1-1 in this game, and we are going to go to a short break, and then we're going to look at the second game, and I'm just going to chat a lot of GGs here. Your name is Best. Okay. Overall score 1-1. No, overall score until now is
No.
1-0 for Corona Difference, and
Corona.
the second game is coming up as we are creating the lobby now, and we will go into a short break, 5 minutes or so, and then we will be back with the next game.
See you soon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second game of this PL match where we have Team Slick playing against Corona Difference. We played the first match a few minutes ago. Quite a powerful show of strength from Corona Difference here. They had a very good game against Team Slick. However, as far as I know and am concerned, Team Slick is not the kind of team to give up easily. And I'm sure they're gonna try to this time maybe take back a win themselves. We also have in the chat another poll to see who will win this match. And yeah, we're setting up the lobby already.
Yeah, the lobby is set up, and we are waiting for I think a few players that are on the bathroom and stuff like that. So yeah, what did you guys think about? Well, I guess the first game pretty self-telling, but maybe for those who just joined in or something like that, Corona Difference just won the first game, and it was pretty strong. Corona.
I
It
mean,
was a pretty one-sided match indeed.
yeah, I'm surprised by the outcome. I thought both teams were equally matched, but the first game took me by surprise, and Corona Difference seems to be strongly ahead of Team Slick. So I'm putting my vote on Corona difference for the second game actually.
Well, you cannot change your votes now. You said
I
1-1.
mean, yeah, I know I did, but I mean, I just saw the performance of Corona difference, and they were consistent with their decisions. I mean, they got a good team fight, they got a lead, they snowballed, their lead got even bigger and bigger and bigger, and yeah, um, everything that TSK did to stop Corona was not enough. I mean, Corona just swept through them.
And the problem was they did not have much window to do much against to stop or stall Corona
True.
Difference. The whole game through, Corona Difference played a very smart game actually, because they really just took the fights they were sure they could win and won them, and they did not get catched otherwise stupidly or give TSK any chance to pick someone alone and have a good
Yeah.
fight.
Well, I mean, even if they got caught, like for example, where Varus, where they engaged on Varus, we could say he got caught, but in the end, Corona Difference managed to get 4 kills and just losing 2 people.
And yes, but even in
So-
that situation, Varus was, yes, he got caught, but he was still very close to Lulu and the rest of his team.
Yeah,
So
he
Uh,
survived long enough actually.
he
Survived long enough
wasn't,
to.
yes, he wasn't catched in a position where he would have instantly died. Usually, if they got one of their carries, it cost way more to TSK than it did to Corona Difference. And
Yeah,
so in this game they've instantly banned once again Nunu, but then also Lulu and Yasuo, which were picked and played last game by Corona Difference.
And
Yeah,
were very strong
and-
components of their team comp. And let's talk a little bit of the picks, about the picks that we have right here. We have Vladimir and Ornn for the top lanes, and I
I'm
think
not
that's going to be a very interesting matchup. Both are very
Vladimir
strong.
does not have to go top
laners.
lane. Vladimir is a flex pick. You can pick him for top lane or mid lane. And
That's true.
and I think in the last couple of games I saw, Vladimir can be unstoppable. His heal is busted right now, and the longer the game goes, the more difficult it will be to get him down. Because he has a massive heal, he has pool, he might even go Zhonya's, and if he's low, he just has to use a Q and he's full life again. So yeah, I can see them picking him this time around because in the first rotation they banned him because they did not want to leave him up as a first pick. But yeah, continuing it with Misfortune Leona bot lane, a typical bot lane that is played right now everywhere. If Leona stuns you, MF can just easily hit her ult, and that ult deals 4,500 damage easily. But yeah, Ornn, solid top laner. Even if you do not win your lane, you often just want to get late game and be unkillable. This time around, Elisa is a jungler. Graves is banned. Silas is banned. Lee Sin is banned. Nunu is banned. Trundle is banned. So it's a solid choice, especially if they want to go for an AD mid lane. Then at
But
least they have.
Sejuani also a very strong jungler to put
Ooh,
up against
that's true.
Elise.
That's true.
Gives a lot of tankiness to TSK, which they also have on the side of Leona, and Vladimir is also, well, he's not going tank, but he obviously is quite tanky as well. So we are looking at a very tanky TSK here, and that enables something like a Fiora for the top lane. And now we know that Vladimir is going to be mid lane, I guess.
Yeah, and they have Corona Difference has the possibility to last pick a counter to Vladimir if they choose so. And I'm surprised. If they pick Vayne, I can see it.
What?
Ah, well, I mean,
Okay, yeah,
Vayne
yeah.
against the
Actually,
Vladimir. Although she's going mid lane, I suppose. Yes, against Vladimir.
I suppose so. They could
Uh,
also
I
send Kai'Sa, full AP Kai'Sa to the mid lane, and have a Vayne fresh bot lane.
I
But
think
Vayne is a solid pick because you have Sejuani, a tank, Leona, a tank, and Vladimir, who will be tanky because of his passive. This
but
is
also
Yeah, I mean, we just said that there's a lot of tankiness on the side of TSK, so Vayne is not a bad pick here. But an offlane Vayne, I haven't seen that in quite some time. And against Vladimir in the laning phase, I don't know how well it's going to play out. Later on in the game, definitely a good pick, but for the early stages of this game, I'm excited and I'm surprised.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it still works fine because
yeah.
even early game, Vladimir items he wants to have, they probably give him HP. He might wanna get usually a Spirit Visage, which honestly, this item just makes Vayne stronger against you, right?
Yeah,
So
it's you're not countering Vayne by building more armor because she just shreds through with her true damage. And especially even if he picks up a Zhonya's, because of his passive, he's gaining more health with it. And then again, he's just playing into Vayne with it. He's just
Yeah.
getting tankier. And yeah, I can I I'm it might be far fetched, but I can I could see Vayne winning the lane against Vladimir because
No.
even though Vladimir has a heal during the period where his heal is not up, or especially his second Q, his empowered Q is not up, he will lose trades against Vayne.
But the thing is, and that's why I'm so concerned about this Vayne mid lane. Sejuani is a very strong CC heavy jungler, and junglers are a part of the game, and you cannot pick something on the mid lane that is so vulnerable to ganks as a Vayne, while CC heavy
Um,
junglers are meta, and I think that's why you don't see those cringy AD carry mid lane pings lately a lot. Tristana is kind of something else because she has a W which she can very well escape if she gets ganked, and she has the
yeah, and
ultimate
Vayne has a E.
disengage. But yes, Vayne has the E and she has a Q, but this is far smaller than what Tristana has to disengage, and I think
Okay,
Vayne
okay,
could be
okay.
having quite a tough time because
I
of
see.
the Sejuani.
I see your point, but what about something like an Annie mid lane? She has her stun, but not every time. Something like a Xerath, who also only has one stun. I mean, you have a lot of mid lane champs that are squishy. And if you look at something like, for example, a Syndra, Syndra has an E that pushes the enemy away, might stun the enemy. Vayne has an E that pushes the enemy away. I mean, it's spicy to pick something like a Vayne in the mid lane, but if you compare it to so many mages that have the same effect, you are, as a mid laner, you are not playing something entirely different. You have your playstyle should remain the same,
but
and especially with
Vayne has to be way more up close to do damage efficiently than say Xerath or Syndra.
Yes.
yeah, but she has the great advantage for her is that if she sees Sejuani coming, which she should if she wards right, then she can easily outplay them with her ult, even.
But that is a situation of Sejuani or not. I mean, both teams have a jungler, and in any case, whatever you pick, you're going to be more at risk because of the jungler, right? Independently
Yeah.
of what you pick, except, as you said, maybe like there's exceptions like Tristana, which have a really huge escape, like her W. I mean, that range is just really big. Also, we have here very aggressive move here from Corona Difference. We're moving towards the Tribarge on the bot lane, and Leona is in there,
Yeah, and it
instantly
looks like they want to
flashing.
go.
Yes.
This is lane mid lane.
Oh lol, okay. My game is later than yours. Yeah, okay, I'm 10 seconds late. To
Yeah,
the ball.
I had the same last last game. Well, when they were fighting and killing Gragas, my game just froze, and I was like, guys, I can't see shit, but I'm hearing what you're saying. So
We are on 116, 117 here.
What-
Yeah, okay, perfect. Now I'm
I'm
live.
good.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry for that. But as you may have recognized, because of Corona, we cannot stream from our normal locations, and therefore we all have to join the game individually, and therefore inconveniences like this can play a part. But yeah, we talked a lot about mid lane now. Oh, we have
Yeah,
another grab here
oh, nice
on the
grab.
Leona.
But just before finishing the mid lane conversation, as the Lich Alex mentioned in our chat, he also thinks that Vayne has the better matchup against Vladimir. Even if you include the jungler, she can lose the matchup, but in the early game she's way more dangerous than Vladimir, and if she gets Borg, she will also have healing, and she's actually applying more damage than to Vladimir.
Seriously, can we call not that item not Borg? It's
Borg.
a Blade of the Wound King, okay?
No, it's Borg. It's
No,
Borg.
it's Blade
Everyone
of the
calls
Wound
it
King.
Borg.
That's a stupid.
No, it's Borg. It's Borg.
I'm gonna bork your face. We have very
call it
aggressive
Blade
placement.
if you want to, but not Borg. Okay, whatever. We already have the first gank set up here from Elise on the bot lane, and yeah, the camera doesn't want to show it though, but apparently nothing happened. So yeah, Corona Difference not able to gain the first advantage here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the other matchups apart from mid lane, as we have talked about that part quite a lot. What do you guys think about bot lane matchups?
I think bot lane, Corona Difference has a very aggressive comp there with Kai'Sa and Thresh, and Thresh has indeed been looking quite a lot to get those grabs in order to get a strong engage quite early on. But I mean, Leona also very strong in offensive, but just as strong defensively. I mean, you engage and Leona can just stun you for so long, and then great, that engage was maybe denied. So I
Oh,
think
Yeah. Well, the playstyle.
François, you on it?
Already the playstyle
Stream
of
is down, guys.
yeah. Well, kind of. I don't know if they can hear us.
there is a network error. All right, okay.
But yeah, the matchup on the bot lane. Looking at it already, we can see that Corona Difference is playing it way more aggressively than Slick.
Oh, now we have a first
we have-
engage here from TSK, and I think they have put Kai'Sa in quite some danger, and she definitely has to go back here. Had to use her cleanse and her flash in this very situation. And yeah, as well, aggression can be shown by Corona Difference. TSK is able to be aggressive here too, and I think once they hit level 6, they can be even more aggressive, because Leona ultimate and MF ultimate combination is just so strong if you are able to hit it.
Yeah, I mean they just had one engage and they already were able to do so much damage. Why do I have a The game is freezed. Okay, the game was freezed.
Yeah,
for me.
it froze on me
Isn't
as
the
well.
tournament sponsored by Post? Best question.
And on top lane, I feel like Ornn has been putting a lot of pressure on Fiora too for now.
Yeah. Well, On has the option of not having to go back, which is great for him. But later on, even if he does not manage to 1v1 Fiora, he's just a solid unit that you need to get through to reach the backline of the enemy team, and getting through an Ornn, it's not that easy.
Yeah, but I think Fiora at some point she will be able to beat Ornn in the lane. And Fiora scales very good into late game.
Well,
Hello?
on one hand she does, you are right, but on the other hand, I had the Fiora game, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, where our Fiora was single-handedly throwing the game despite standing 12 and 5, 12 and 7. So she might be able to kill him, but yeah, she might kill herself with it because he's just rushing a Bramble West, and he will gain more resistance than her and be way more tanky than her.
Yeah.
We have for now a really even game. I mean, even CS wise, look how close they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
think the
Scotland is
only
just
bigger difference we
barely ahead.
have is in terms of summoner spells used. Because Ornn already used his TP and Kai'Sa had to use her both her summoner spells.
And we have Sejuani
Yeah, but
prepping a lane gang on bot here.
But Cleanse is going to be up very, very soon, and if they plan on engaging with level 6, it might. I'm not going to say it might fail, but um, they should not forget that Cleanse has a low cooldown.
Yeah, and I think Sejuani was also a bit early to the party here because I think she should wait until
Yeah.
they hit level 6.
Yeah, but she
Vladimir
was
met
just spotted,
Elise here.
so she has to pay attention. She has a Thresh walking up on her, a Kai'Sa coming from the side, and a Vayne
now we
coming from the
have
other side.
Vayne,
And this
yeah,
might
and-
be it. This might be the fight. Vayne has to get away with the lantern. She's getting very low. She's just barely surviving.
Yeah, and she missed the perfect situation for her E there when Sejuani was coming out of the jungle. And that could have been very dangerous, but she didn't pull off her E, and I think that was a big mistake, but in micro play in this fight. And that cost him the fight, kind of.
Yeah, if everyone was level 6, the fight would have been different. I mean, MF was able to use her ult at last, but if either Thresh or Kai'Sa were level 6, this would have been different. They could have done more with it even.
I don't know about you guys, but my game keeps freezing.
Yeah, mine does as well from time to time.
It's
I
so
think the
weird.
servers-
Does not.
I think the servers are just crap right now.
Whenever I
Ooh, nice flash from Fiora there.
Okay, you had a flash from Fiora?
Yeah.
just got it now too.
Reinrush, Feyrenrush, Feyrenrush.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
I think
I'm on
I think
time.
the server,
I think I just missed the flash then.
I think
I'm
the servers are lagging a bit.
Oh,
I'm
flash from Leona and a
Oh,
nice
nice
engage. Kai'Sa
engage.
drops very low, and that's first
But
blood
she's still Ooh,
for
nice.
TSK in this second match.
Yeah. On a home server that's called Potato.
Hey, my home server is called Potato.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
Okay, so but apart from this first blood, not much happening in this first 10 minutes of game 2. A lot of farming and yeah, both teams pretty even still, even though TSK has gained a quite or a very small advantage with this first kill in terms of gold, and they also got the first dragon.
They've had the Drake for quite some time, I feel like.
Yeah, second Drake is up already, and it's going to be the next objective that
They got
is
the first
going to
Drake,
be-
but in the meantime, Elise was able to secure the Herald, and a well-placed Herald can have a huge impact. I mean, if you get 5 platings with an Herald, you are
Oh, and
you are
Sejuani in
in
a
gold.
very dangerous position here, and once again it's being TSK Sabo getting called out before the objective is taken. TSK turning around to fight now, getting the trash here.
Nice. We have Ornn canceling the TP of Fiora, but he has to make up for it. And in the meantime, they are still fighting it, but Elise has the potential. She's very low. Vladimir also low.
Oh, and
Vayne,
now we have Rain in a dangerous
yeah.
position, but Leona missed her
Oh,
E
and
here,
a
unfortunately.
nice route from Elise, saving Vayne's life.
Yeah, and that Leona missed the E was also quite saving her life. Yeah, and now we have the Drake is still up, and I think TSK is about to start it now. But they are in it's a very dangerous Drake.
Siju
I guess
already started it.
Corona Difference is aware of that, but Elise is very low here, and she is going down to the Vladimir, and that's the Drake for TSK here. And overall, they are in a good position now. They're having the upper hand in the second game. Trash getting catched here. And that's the CC I was talking about. TSK just has so much of it.
Yeah, this time they're not taking any chances and playing very safely and just picking the fights that are safe for them to win. And it's working quite well now as they're taking up a bit of a lead in the second game.
I mean, they caught 2 people in a row. First, Fiora was able to catch Elise in the topside river and killing her, so she was no threat for the Drake. Then they get a free Drake, move bot lane. Oh, they see a Thresh. Yeah, Thresh got caught, easy kill for them. So they are really playing the map right now. They are playing it well, and they are getting their rewards for it. I mean, 2 free kills. You can't complain for that.
And Vladimir now has 2 kills and quite a bit of farm, more than Vayne. And I think she's gonna have a very rough time from now on the mid lane.
Lee stealing the blue buff from TSK here, and Ornn just got some platings on top lane. So I think even though TSK got those kills, they are not in such a big lead. Because, yeah, Corona Difference is still very close in gold, and they managed to find other ways to stay in this game, and they still have the Rift Herald also, I think. Fiora
Yes.
going down here on top lane, nice gank from Elise, and they are able to push here.
Yes, and they can probably take that turret down already. Making
Yes,
up
Elise
for
is
Yeah,
the
quite
mid
good at
But I-
pushing towers.
I'm
making
not
up for
sure
the
if
bot
Elise,
turret they just lost.
I'm not sure if Elise used the Herald, but it's gone. So yeah, if she didn't use the Herald, it was a huge waste.
Oh, engage now here
Damn.
on the
Yeah,
Wayne,
it's-
but that was a bit of a bad engage
Oh,
here.
good
Sejuani did
And
also
a
miss
nice
her
follow-up.
ultimate.
Yeah,
Now
the
we have
bot lane
FMF
joining
and
in.
Leona joining in, and that's the death for Wayne. Finally they get it. But to what cost? Actually they lost nothing.
Yeah, they're even getting some damage on that mid turret.
And they are going for the second Herald. which will give them a further lead in this game.
Yeah,
very
meanwhile,
good move from
Corona
TSK.
missing in taking actions against that. Now they are there for the Rift Herald, and they might be in the position to fight that. The Sejuani is very low after all, but nice engage here from TSK. They are on the watch for that, and Elise immediately goes down again.
Yeah, that was the problem. Corona difference was heavily outnumbered there. They only had 3 people against 5 who were on there. So it would have been very tough to try and take the Herald, to be honest.
Yeah, and TSK slowly but steadily extending their lead here.
Yeah. Well, especially for Fiora right now, she got the Herald, and the next time around she goes top lane, she can just push through the tower with the Rift Herald. So yeah, I think a Sejuani gank on top lane would secure them the kill and an easy tower, if not even 2 towers on top lane.
And both teams are now once again settling into their lanes. Except for the bot lane of TSK, which are gonna pick up a rep buff.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a 3-0 to MF, which is definitely hurting a lot. And we have another.
Oh,
We have 2 missed ultis there on the mid lane from TSK, unfortunately. But they still have 4 people against 2 and can easily take out that turret.
Yeah, the ultimate missed, but they were able to push it back with this. But now we have the engage from Corona Difference here. Nice play from Trash. And we have MF going down first, and that's double kill for Wayne. Corona Difference kind of having a comeback here.
Yeah, but they're going to lose top lane. Ornn is going to lose his top lane tower for it. But if they manage, if they get the Drake, if Sejuani is not contesting the Drake, it's. I'm not going to say it's worth for them, but they made a good play.
Sejuani can't really do much to deny that dragon alone with Vladimir. They're still heavily outnumbered.
Fiora gets the second tower on the top lane too. And that's the strength of Fiora, and that's a very good, or good reaction at least here from TSK. They know they lost something on one side of the map, but at least they took something back on the other side of the map. Now we have an engage here on Vladimir, who goes down to the trash hook. Very nice hook also. Cocoon missed, but who cares if the trash hook hits? And yeah, that's another kill for Corona Difference, who are not giving up this game so easily to TSK.
No, that's good.
Yeah. And they're picking up 2 of the 2 only shutdowns they could get. So those were some very good picks for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, once again, closing quite a bit the lead as TSK now, compared to before, only has a 2k gold lead. But they still are quite far ahead in terms of pushing.
Yeah, and I mean, Mirakuro just mentioned in the chat, and it's actually true, something you will not see in the gold statistics, but Ornn is able to upgrade items. He hasn't done that yet as expect for his own Summoner's Sunfire.
Well, he already got 2 upgrades for free for himself. He's level 13, even though he hasn't he still only has the upgrade on Sunfire. His passive already is up for the second upgrade, so he technically got, what is it, at least 600 gold for free for the Sunfire upgrade. And the upgrades will be like 5,000 in total, maybe 5,000 gold, maybe 4,000 gold for Corona that Team Slick is not going to have.
Oh, and now TSK was looking for the engage here, but they realized they are outnumbered and that they should maybe not take this fight. And yeah, Corona Difference getting back their vision here in their own jungle, clearing out the vision of TSK. Yeah, we are looking at a very close and exciting game here. Both teams pulling off quite a show for us. And both teams looking for that vision around the jungle here and the Baron, which is obviously going to be the next objective that is going to be taken, as Drake is not up at the moment.
They might
Yes,
try to trap an enemy and full engage on him. And that would actually, if they manage to catch someone in the top side jungle, it could be a free
Ooh.
kill for them. Oh, very nice play from Fiora.
Oh, is she proccing the ult?
Ornn
Yes.
is getting a lot of damage, but still, if you look at it at the end, they are nearly even.
Yeah, Ornn is
Yes,
pretty
but
strong,
I think
man.
Ornn
Ornn
is under
is
quite some
busted.
pressure here because he doesn't have
That-
TP, and that doesn't matter at all because
Double
TSK in the
kill
middle.
for Vladimir on mid lane.
Yeah, with a good engage again, and that's another tower for TSK here. Also, Ornn has to back off on the bot lane now, which means that Fiora can push here. She has her TP up in case TSK wants to go for Baron now, but it doesn't look like it. They rather want to take the jungle away of TSK, of Corona Difference. But I think it's the better call to not force a Baron here, because it would be a pretty dangerous Baron after all.
Yeah. Securing some vision, denying the enemy jungler his camps, and slowly prepping for Drake is definitely the safer option. Going for a Baron would be risky, but giving them a second, I think is it Mountain or
It's Mountain, the next
Earth?
one's map, I think.
Mountain? Yeah. So getting one step closer to the soul is, in my opinion, way stronger than the Baron buff. I mean, with the update of Dragon's Soul, I mean, getting Drakes is literally 10 times more important than Baron buff.
Nah, I don't absolutely agree with you on that. I think it's still very situational what fits your team comp better. And Baron is still a very strong tool to close in games and to push
Yeah,
down
but
stuff like that.
if you get the soul remains permanent. If you get a Baron buff, you only have the Baron buff for 3 minutes.
Yeah, true,
Yes.
but then you have to use those 2 minutes.
Yeah,
In
wow.
3
gain
minutes, a
other
lot can
advantages.
happen in this game.
Yeah, a lot
nice
can happen within
engage here from
seconds, like this
TSK.
engage.
Especially something like this. But Ornn is TPing in, so they should not run away from it. They should engage in the fight.
Oh, and
And,
Leona
yeah, they are
is the first one
getting-
to go down, and with this TP they turned it around completely. Sejuani goes down next.
Yeah.
And this, well, they have to go, or one of them has to go back to defend against the Fiora,
Yeah,
but
Ornn is
this
backing.
means that Corona Difference will be able to take 1 or 2 objectives here, and they are deciding to leave the dragon and actually go for Baron here.
Yeah, they want the Baron, but in the meantime, Ornn has to kill Fiora somehow, or she's just going to make
Yeah.
the inhib for free.
And
I mean,
she's very close
easily
to that.
outplaying him.
Yeah, I mean, he does not have quite enough mobility to catch a
No,
Fiora
that's true.
dancing
But
around
yeah,
him.
okay, Fresh is dying, and they have to stop the Baron.
Yes, it was
Oh,
very
and
well
Which
played
is
from
very bad from them, and nice played from Team Slick, going in, getting a kill, still not dying, and they are actually going to move for the Drake. And
Yeah,
they are
as
going
the
to
Corona
get a free
difference
Drake
between-
with it.
Wow, and that was a good turnaround of TSK from the situation. Fiora taking the inhib on the top lane, they were able to deny the Baron, and they get a free Drake now as well. And that's just because Corona was greedy and they didn't want to take the free Drake they would have got, but
Yeah.
they rather wanted to take the Baron here.
Yeah, and Corona are now one step closer to their soul, and the soul
mean
will be
TSK.
nice. Sorry, yeah, TSK is one step closer to the soul, and the soul will be nice for them. I mean, Sejuani, Yora, Vladimir just diving into you, even Leona just diving into you with a shield, and then their huge amount of HP. Yeah, it's not going to be that easy getting through that.
You have both the mid laners, which have so much of the power of each team here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all have
Now we
we
have-
already have Orin giving away upgrades. Bork got upgraded for Vayne.
And Corona once again starts this Baron here.
Yeah, Fiora is bot lane, but this time has no TP as she has to use it before to engage. Ooh!
But she does not need.
Oh, but
TP
nice ultimate on
to
the-
be nice.
And Fiora is not needed here to win the teamfight for
No.
TSK, as TSK is just ruling over all of Corona defense.
Yeah,
However, they
but
are in the worst
now
spot
with
now.
the Vayne.
This Vayne does damage.
Yeah.
But
Definitely, but
Fiora is
TSK
still pushing.
Fiora,
Exactly.
Fiora is going to get 2 powers out of that play. And
And opening an inhib. I mean,
definitely not worth.
TSK
Definitely not worth.
is... They're playing very well, very good around the Fiora, letting her push and take out the fights. You know, they never commit too much, like, they don't cheese too much, they disengage quite early enough if they see that, well, they're outnumbered.
Yeah, all they gotta do is stop the objective. Like, stop Corona from getting the objective that they are opting for, and have Fiora pushing. And that's what they did before, and yeah, it's very good. It's working out. They are in a gold lead, they have all the Drakes they want, and Corona is opting for this dragon another time now, and yeah,
Baron.
Baron. Sorry.
And they do have a very good comp to just interrupt such an objective with Leona and Sejuani, both having very strong CCs here, which can be followed up by an MF ult, and that can just totally stop a team in their objective.
Yeah, my game just keeps lagging and freezing.
I had that before. It was there was a freeze, and then I would get back to the actual time, and then I would once again get a freeze, and I was just constantly 10 seconds behind. And whenever I tried to get up to date, just freeze again. So
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, we have Fiora and on bot lane fighting once again.
We are seeing the same. An Ornn getting annihilated by a Fiora, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chicken
however,
or
not too
or
good
combo.
for the Fiora, but she
Oh,
gets
so
the
close.
kill! Just
So
barely,
close.
oh my god.
Such a close fight.
That must be so
Yeah.
tilting if you're on right there.
Okay, yeah.
And now we have TSK this time around starting the Baron here and clearing the vision of
Yeah.
Corona
Meanwhile,
defense
top
in the
and
same
bot.
time.
I mean, top is pushing, bot is also pushing, but they also have Fiora doing the inhib.
Yeah. Yeah. Just leaving. Actually, if you just leave one inhib open, it can be bad because you are giving the enemy team extra experience, extra gold.
Oh, and Elise
Oh,
just barely doesn't get
close,
the steal here, but it
close.
doesn't matter because Fiora is
yeah.
stopping push lane anyways.
And now we have
This
a
game
top
looks
lane.
very good for TSK.
It's
Top
very
lane
good.
inhib gone again. So yeah, they have two possibilities. Either they push for one of the open lanes, or they just rush down mid lane and get all three inhibs.
I think they're first gonna get that soul. Drake's
Oh
about
yeah,
to get up.
actually, yeah.
The
did not see
timing
that.
is really lining up quite well for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, however,
Although they
Corona
have to be
defense is
careful to
there
not-
too.
They have to be careful because if they were to lose that Baron there, that would be bad for them. But
Oh,
Oh, nice
this can be-
Sonya's here from
This
Vladimir.
can be fatal. Yeah, but this can be fatal right now because you have Ornn engaging on the one side. But it's good for them because it's good for TSK because Elise is not there.
oh, because Sejuani gets caught here.
And Sejuani is caught and dies. Ornn just so close to dying. But holy cow.
that was bad for them. They that Ornn ult split them apart, and that cost them that Drake.
Yeah.
Yes, but unfortunately they get out with a black eye here, or blue eye actually, by just dying Sejuani and losing the Drake, because this could have gone even worse, with
Yeah.
quite a few of them losing their Baron buff.
It could have been an ace for either teams because Vayne could have gotten two-shotted by Vladimir Q's, and yeah, it was lucky for both teams. In the end, Corona
Yeah, but
was the luckier
Vayne was
team.
not even around Vladimir. Vayne was on the Sejuani.
Yeah, but at the end of the fight, she took an empowered Q of Vladimir and lost half her health.
Yes, but that was already, the fight was already almost over. They still could have won a fight there, I think, because they just outnumbered TSK. And the problem is, in terms of power, the champions, there's nobody that is way more fed than the other, right? I mean, look at Vladimir and Vayne. They have pretty much same
Yeah,
in
the
terms
first
of
one,
items.
the first one of them to die is going to be a huge deficit for that team.
So that's the thing. Outnumbered, TSK has no chance against Corona difference. Just because everybody is at the same power. This is where they can win.
And now
This
we
is
have
their
a
fight.
strong engage here from
Yeah,
TSK, but
it's like on my
immediately
side,
the
so-
back engage from Corona difference, the TSK drops very, very low here,
Oh,
and
Kaiser
Ornn just
going
doesn't
in.
die. And Vayne is up too,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is the cleanup from
Nice.
Corona difference. Only
Very good
Fiora
team,
left.
Yeah, but they have to def the wave.
Yes, it was a bit of a ballsy fight here. Trying to tower
Yeah.
dive them, I think.
Yes, as mentioned in chat, both teams should focus on anti-healing, because Vayne is just healing herself up so much with Orc, while in the meantime, Vladimir is doing the same. So both teams should focus on either
With what
an
item is Vayne healing up?
Blade of
Blade.
Turn King.
Okay.
Borg. And even with an empowered Borg, it's even stronger. And Ornn, I'm not sure how much healing he has, but since he's so tanky and and has his Warmogs, he's also getting a lot of HP back. So yeah, they have to.
On the other side, you have Vladimir getting a lot of healing as well as Fiora, though. So Execution is calling, or some anti-healing. Oh! I
Grievous
cannot
wounds.
talk! What the
A
fuck?
grievous wounds item, and
Yeah.
Ornn already has one. He has his Bramble West.
As well as
Warden.
the Zelise, but thing
Yeah.
is, if they ignore Ornn, that one is not relevant anymore, and Elise has been dying quite fast, quite early,
Yeah,
the whole time right now.
I mean, she can apply grievous wounds onto everybody who gets hit by her W, but if she dies a couple of seconds afterwards, it's not a big matter. Like, the item is not going to do. Yeah, the item is not going to do its job. So if she survives long enough, yeah, the item is useful. But if she drops in 2 seconds, the item is not useful.
Were you
And
guys posting Fs in the chat?
No, they are posting H right now. Yeah, no, this tool is still working.
Oh, TSK is setting up a little trap here for Corona Difference to drop in, and actually that could be really fatal if they would come along that way.
Yeah.
This Drake is about to spawn quite soon too.
Yeah, they know the Drake is going to
Ooh,
spawn, and they have two possibilities.
Elise is coming in.
Oh, and Elise did spot that one, and that's very important.
Oh, that was good. That was very, very
She
good.
played it very safe,
Yeah.
letting a W scout.
And what is
Forward.
good for them is if they are going to team fight, TSK is down on Leona ult, which is very big.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that
Oh,
much cooldown.
TSK just go for the same play again, but Corona Difference doesn't
she
want
only
to
wants-
go for the Drake here. They want to
Yeah.
go for the Fiora here,
Fiora.
and they actually get her out of the way, and now they are safe to go for an objective because they don't have that split push power going against them.
And now is that special team fight. You have one side, on one side TSK is going for their mountain, so they get the soul. On the other hand, we have Corona Difference going for the Baron.
And they
But
do a lot of damage to that Baron.
yeah, but they right now they have a 3-minute window to make any progress. If they fail, they are going to get stomped hard by that mountain. So
Yes, I think TSK definitely did the good choice here, and they right now still have the upper hand because if Corona Difference wants to use this Baron, TSK still have quite a bit of game to not fall too far behind of them. They are still ahead in terms of pushing, etc. Although the problem is that the longer the game goes, the tougher it's gonna get for TSK, because Ornn is gonna start upgrading items here and there, and if everybody is full build and everybody
there
on Corona Difference has an upgraded item,
is
they have
just
the upper hand.
there is just one upgrade missing, and it's on Fresh. Everyone has gotten his upgrades.
Yeah, but not everybody is full build yet.
Yeah.
So in the end game, they're gonna have the upper hand.
We have an
this is-
engage here
this is
from
going to be a
TSK
huge
once again.
fight.
Kaisa is already very low, but she's nicely positioned in the backline there.
Yeah,
And
Kaiser survived, and
Leona and
already the
MF
bot
are
lane
going
is
down
gone.
from TSK. And it's Corona Difference having the upper hand here in the fight. A flash play onto the Vladimir. And
Oh,
Knocker
very nice
immediately
play
comes
from
once
Ornn.
he's out of his.
The damage from that Kaisa too.
Yeah, and Fiora is taking the inhib on the top side, but on the other side we have TSK taking down, Corona Difference taking down the base of TSK, and
They are doing base
I
trades, and they are
don't
winning
think
base
that.
trades.
Yeah, I think
They are
TSK
winning
has
base
any
trades.
chance in winning this base case. And this is game 2, ladies and
GG.
gentlemen. Corona Difference coming out ahead of a very, very close second game here.
Yeah, and a
Very
strong
exciting game.
a strong last team fight. That team fight was essential for them. They took the team fight into their hand, and yeah,
Definitely. I would have expected from TSK that they played like very defensively against that Baron and not try to pick too many fights, because I mean they had Fiora on the bot lane the whole time, which means that they were basically outnumbered for almost any fight. So I don't understand why
Yeah.
they would pick one when the enemy has a Baron. That was very, very bad move, I think.
overconfidence.
Just maybe a bit of overconfidence, because that's the thing in around the end, Corona Difference won more and more fights. They had Ornn in the fights way more often also. I don't know if you've realized that. He was always there right on time to jump into the
Yeah.
fight with a very, very strong ults from him and change the
That's
tides of fights.
Well, if you look at it, he often TP'd into team fights, and
That too.
how does Fiora want to deny it? She has no CC to deny it, so he has the upper hand. Even if both top laners have TP, he has the upper hand because he can deny Fiora's TP, whilst she can't deny his. And he often TP'd into team fights near the Drake or near the and
Am I
pretty
lagging
much
or?
good. Oh, I think everyone is lagging a bit.
Yeah, definitely. So I think
So, yeah.
that Ornn pick is probably what, I mean, part of what did them the game. I think that Ornn was very strong and did a very good job against Fiora around the end. Still as good as he could do.
Well,
But yeah.
I think least to say is that this was a very exciting second game, and Corona Difference was able to show that they are very powerful. The first game was kind of a storm against TSK, but TSK showed in the second game that they're definitely a enemy to have an eye on and to remember, because they will not give up easily. as you predicted already before the game started, Loic. And yeah, I'm really excited for the season and to see how all of these teams are going to develop and to improve.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, I guess that concludes today's match and also the last match of this week. So I suppose Corona Difference is joining the upper spots alongside Royal Family and Outplay eSports.
Yeah. While
Yeah.
TSK is joining the loser side with no front side and the Dana team. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we have some interesting matchups next week, so we will see then.
Definitely. So guys, I guess this was it for tonight's show of PL Weekly. Definitely make sure to head in next week to hear about the results of next week, and of course we're going to have a nice game of League of Legends then again for you guys. For times, make sure to check our Facebook page as we're going to announce the times when we will stream weekly on our Facebook page because we have to organize the show around the times of the games, obviously, which we are not setting, but the teams are setting them. So it doesn't have to be Saturday again. I hope it will be a day on the weekend. We will try to make it on the weekend because, or if there's a game on the weekend, we will always try to take that game. If it's not a complete stomp or a very unexciting game, but yeah. I guess that's it for tonight. Thanks everyone for watching and see you next time. Or do you guys have to say something else?
No.
Good.